What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Bonnie Scotch. Thank you so much for clicking on my video today. I wanted to bring you a live review for Tia Mowry's My Next Act. This is season 1, episode 1. I saw that a few people were reviewing this show, and I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and check it out, see what it gives, see if I can get in on this. And I watched the first episode and I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and jump in. So here I am with my first recap of the first episode. Okay. WeTV, they have the bangers sometimes. So I want to give all of these different Black reality shows like a chance. Like I don't want to just only be exclusive to Bravo as a network. Let me turn off the notifications, child. It's my mom's birthday weekend. So we are going to be going to like a late lunch, early dinner for her birthday. And they'll be here in maybe like the next 40 minutes. So I decided, I have a little bit of free time before my mom and my sister get back in from their errands. And then we go to dinner for my mom's birthday. Shout out to all of the Libras. Happy Libra season, y'all. All right, let's go ahead and just jump into it. I did enjoy this first episode. I thought it was good. I thought it was a good first start, but I will say this about Tia. Tia's personality is a lot. She is a very animated type of person, right? Tia is always on 10. And she doesn't have any levels. It's always 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. That can be a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I will say that, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the 7 people in the room. Go ahead and hit the like button for me. When you hit the like button, not only is it a free way to support my channel, but it also lets YouTube know that I'm here and that you all are rocking with my commentary. So YouTube starts to shoot my content out to other viewers just like you. So I'm curious, have you all watched the show? How are you feeling about it? Are you curious about the show? If you haven't watched it, I know there are a lot of you who just sometimes watch my reviews without watching the show, and I do appreciate you all for that. All right, so let me just jump into my notes, okay? Now, we learned that Tia has been in the public eye since she was 14 years old, okay? This is a long time to be famous. A very long time. She's like, what, 44 now? She has been famous for more than, a good portion of her life. It's been a year and a half since she has been divorced. She has 2 kids. The oldest one, his name is Cree. Apparently, he does not want to be on TV. He doesn't want to be bothered. And Tia is respecting his wishes, which I respect. He set his boundaries and she's cool with that. So I love that. And then she has Cairo, a 5-year-old. She looks exactly like the eldest son from what I remember. Like, I just remember this little girl looking like a stamp of her older brother. Like, they have the same exact face. In any case, she's 5. We see Tia and baby girl Cairo in a room together. And, I'm guessing that she is interpreting her mom's energy as sad. So she goes and she grabs what is called a worry doll. So I'm guessing, at 5 years old, she is sophisticated enough to be in tune with her mom's emotions and know that she needs to touch in with her and give her something that she can put her burdens into, that she can put her worries into. People always think that children can't handle certain types of conversation. They just need the medium to be able to do it. Like, they may not have the words, but sometimes, like, there's this spiritualist that I follow, and she's like, sometimes it's frustrating when my daughter can't communicate certain things to me. I think the little girl might be like 6 or 7, but she's like, okay, can you draw the picture? And she draws it out. So it's like, kids are very emotionally aware. They are very in tune. They may not have the language, but if you give them the means to communicate with you, they will do that. Okay. Again, shout out to the 7 people in the room. All right. Go ahead and hit the like button for me. Drop down in the comments if um if you want to. Oh wait, do we have one? Hey, Ayana. Ayana says the public was so hard on her for leaving a good man. Folks feel as if a man isn't abusing you, you have to stay. If she was done, that's it. Why does it have to be something extreme? Ayana, I definitely want to touch on this. I did include something about this in my notes. I didn't too much appreciate the comments about, oh, why would she leave a good man? Y'all don't know this man. Y'all don't know what type of man he was. And actually having my notes, I remember the show that she was on with her sister. Um, or I can't remember if it was a show that it was just her and Corey on. I can't imagine it would just be a show with them, them by themselves. But I remember it was a show and it came on a long time ago. It was a reality TV show back in the day. And from what I remember, y'all, Corey always had a nasty ass attitude. He always had a sourpuss. He was always mean mugging. He never looked happy. He made me uncomfortable. He looked like he never wanted to be around. He looked like he didn't even like her. So that's one of those things that I look for when I look at when a couple comes onto my TV. I look at how they treat each other. Are they affectionate? What is their general like countenance around each other? What's the body language? What's it giving? He never gave me that he liked her. Like I was saying earlier, her personality, she's a person, she's always on 10. She has no levels outside of 10, right? He seems like a very laid back, very quiet person. But even then, he just didn't seem like he was pleasant, like he even wanted to be there. Anyway, let me make it through my notes, child. Okay, so Tia says that she wishes she could pick up the phone and just call her sister. Now, I'm curious as to why she can't just pick up the phone and call her sister. She's like, oh, it's because of the distance. The distance is not the reason you can't pick up the phone. My best friend lives in California and we on the phone every day. We're in completely different time zones and we be on each other's line all day, every day. Excuse me. So I'm not really understanding that. I don't know what the strain is or where it's coming from. I wouldn't even know where to begin speculating. But if I had to guess, Tamara's husband is a known Trump supporter, a known MAGA head, right? Some years ago, I don't know if you all remember this, but Tamara's husband, what's his name again? Wait, hold on. I don't want to get the lying. What's his name? Hold on, y'all. Adam Housley. Now, I don't know if y'all remember this, but some years ago, he definitely said, let me pull up the screenshot. He said that Trayvon Martin deserved to be removed from this earth on national TV. He said that. He said it. He tried to walk it back, but he still said it. Okay. I'm looking at Love B. Scott. Somebody said, wait, did Adam really say that Trayvon brought his own DEATH to himself, or was that just a bad rumor? And then Adam Housley, Tamara's husband, replied and said, look at the timestamp. As a reporter, when I was first covering it, I said that we didn't know all the facts. And what? GIL or justice is not the answer. Look at all of my tweets over time as the story evolved. But wait, that wouldn't fit the narrative that I am insensitive and racist. Now, would it? We need to stop the hate, stop the misrepresentation. Hashtag enough. So we know how Tamara's husband feels about Black people. If you could say that, even based, like, we all knew the same facts. We all knew what we knew about Trayvon Martin, rest his soul. And for you to jump the gun and say that just tells me how heartless and disgusting of a person you really are. Okay? So I probably wouldn't have Tamara and her family too much to do just based on that alone. I know how you feel about Black people. Trayvon Martin was a 14-year-old little baby walking. I'm not even going to get into all the details because y'all already know. Y'all already know. Anyway, let me get back into my notes before I get to soapboxing, child. Okay? All right. So now, apparently, there was a video of Tia and her ex-husband, Corey, that went viral. I never even saw the video, y'all. They bumped into each other on the red carpet for the first time since they had been divorced. And Tia is saying that people are wanting to know what happened and why it happened and how they're trying to create this whole narrative around it. And it didn't look super awkward to me. It looked kind of playful, like a playful awkwardness, but like it didn't look too wild. Like it just looked regular. I don't know. Like it didn't seem like it was that deep to me. But Tia's thing is like, she's like, oh, people want to, they're making up all these narratives. Tia, sister, you have been famous for a very, very long time, right? You should be used to this by now, but I really think that Tia is not used to people talking about her. So I just don't get why any of this is surprising. Like, I have friends who people are making up narratives about them on Lipstick Alley, and they're not even famous. Like my friend Jade, she has a podcast. Shout out to Jade and XD, but people make up narratives about them on Lipstick Alley. And all they do is their little podcast, and they, not little podcast, but they do their podcast and they just mind their business. They're not celebrities. They're people on the internet just like you and me. Anyway, I don't know. Tia is, to me, she's just making this like a whole big to-do. Girl, yes, people gonna make up shit about you. You just have to have, excuse me, that thick or tougher skin. And again, like it just gives, you're not used to people talking about you, so all of this feels new. My mom is telling me have a snack, so I guess she's gonna be late to her own birthday dinner situation. But I mean, Libras, honey, what do you expect? Apple Charm, what's going on, baby? I haven't seen you in a while. All right. Ayana says, I love my girl Kenya down, but Mark had the same energy towards her. He never looked at her like he liked her. Baby, let alone love. Ayana J. That is a great example of somebody who never came across as though they like Kenya, as though they like their partner. I always looked at Mark like he never cared for her. He never liked this lady, let alone love, right? You can love a person, doesn't mean you like them, right? Sometimes the way women choose these men, it's like they clearly do not even like you as a person, and you want to be up under them and be having their babies. And for what? What do you want to prove, baby? That you can have a man, that you can get pregnant, that you can be unhappy? Like, what do you want to prove? I don't understand it, honey. All right. Y'all be clocking the tea too. Y'all be clocking it, child. Let me make sure I'm not missing any comments. All right, I'm good. Sonic, what's going on, baby? All right. What else do I have here? Yeah, I'm saying here that she is not used to anybody, talking about her. This is essentially what people do. When I heard that Tia and Corey were getting divorced, it didn't shock me. I ran it by in my notes that he just doesn't have the personality that seems like he wanted to be in the public eye. Even though I know he's an actor, he just seemed like he was always irritated with Tia. You know, like everything she said was irritating to him. They didn't seem like a fun couple. They didn't seem like a couple that you would want to be around. Have you ever been around a couple and they just literally make you so uncomfortable? Like the way the dude, for the most part, in my experience, the way the dude would speak to the chick, it's like, oh my God. Like, does this man even like you? Shout out to the 15 people in the room. I really appreciate y'all for being here with me. Go ahead and hit the like button if you have not already. It is a free way to support my channel. Y'all know I don't ask y'all for the coin. I just ask y'all to hit the like button. That's all I need y'all to do. I did not see Black Love. I did not see Black Love. I would have a hard time watching a show like that because on shows like Black Love, I feel like Black struggle is glorified. I don't see any Black love, right? For me, the thing with what people consider love, right? What people call love, I have an issue with. A motherfucker could beat your ass and throw you down the steps and be like, I love you. And there are a lot of people who will accept that as love, right? For me, what people deem and regard as love, I don't consider love. Somebody mistreating me, somebody talking to me crazy, somebody, you know, when you fight with a person, do they fight dirty? Do they call you names? Do they say things that they know will trigger you? Are they trying to get to the bottom of conflict? Or are they trying to be right? Are they trying to hurt you? Are we fighting to get to the bottom of the solution, or are we fighting to hurt each other? You get what I'm saying? So them shows like Black Love and these, oh, he cheated on me 100 times and I still took him back, and we've been through ups and downs, and the ups and downs is him cheating. No, baby. No, absolutely not. That's not the type of Black love that I glorify. Not at all, even. Not at all. Catchy C, what's going on, baby? I'm so glad you can make it. Miss Tina called her now ex-husband out on Black Love too. She was like, "You're not perfect, divorced." Hello, I saw that clip. I saw that clip. Child. Mm-mm. Mm. But I will say this about Tia and Corey, right? There's a dynamic here that I will give Tia grace for, because this is the first and only man that she has ever been with. It's not like some of these bitches that's in their some of these broads that's in their 40s and they've been dating since they've been 15 and dating for a long time and going through all of these men, and they keep choosing the same type of man. That's a little bit different than somebody who has been dating the same person most of their life and they don't even know how to date at this point. So the idea of Black love is meant to be a cage for Black women. Baby, the way you clocked it so bad. Anyway, let me get back into my notes. Y'all know, see, when y'all start talking to me, I get tangential. I start having these little side conversations. I start soapboxing. Okay. All right, let me get back to it. All right. What else do I have here? Something that stood out to me at the top of this episode was when she told one of her friends, she said, she called her. I think she was on her way to take the baby to her father's house. By the way, I did notice that the baby said, "Oh, I love going to daddy's house." I said, okay, that's good. That's a good sign, because kids will tell you, especially kids that age. They don't have the filter where they can pretend just yet until you start teaching them how to mask their feelings. That baby said, "I love going to daddy's house," and I took it for what it was. She loved going to her daddy's house. I said, okay, period. Cute. I like that energy. Okay. Now, something that stood out to me at the top of the episode was when she told her friend that she didn't want to be alone. She didn't want to be alone. And there it is. I think that society has made being alone some type of boogeyman, right? when in reality, you can find the deepest peace in your solitude. You can find yourself in your solitude if you try, if you want to. It's so important that you can be comfortable being still with yourself, getting to know who you are without deferring to another person. Because in my mind, if you can't be alone and be with your own thoughts and your own feelings and know who you are and know what you like, and you're so used to deferring to another, I think at some point all of your relationships become performative. You are acting through a performance in relationship to other people, right? And then we hear Tia acknowledge that society feels as though women should cater to men. Can I say this as like a random aside? I was in high school when Cater to You by Destiny's Child came out, and I remember being so offended um by the song and being like, why you gotta lace this nigga's shoes and tie his do rag? Like what the like I wasn't feeling that energy. I wasn't. But anyway, um, she's acknowledging the position that women are put in. You get what I'm saying? It's like Rodney pointed this out. He points this out pretty frequently. How strollers are always given to little baby girls. You know what I'm saying? Strollers and these baby dolls, and then the boys can't even play with the Barbies or the dolls or the kitchen sets or anything like that, right? It's all this expectation put on women about being a mother, belonging to someone, being a nurturer to somebody, all this Disney princess shit. You're going to get saved. You're going to get swept up. Some man is coming to find you. And then you get to a certain age and you realize there is no knight in shining armor. There is no prince. And that no man, nobody is coming to save you. You got to save yourself, right? Like the cheetah girl said, I don't want to be like Cinderella, sitting in a dark old dusty cellar waiting for somebody to come and set me free. Hello? I can slay my own dragons. I can dream my own dreams. My knight in shining armor is me, so I'm going to set me free. Hello? The cheetah girls really gave us the blueprint way back when, if you really want to get into it. And I think people turn into these Disney adults and they still have these unrealistic expectations of what it is to be in relationship to another person. Everything has to be centered on romance and your relationship. What about your relationship to yourself? What about centering yourself and your own dreams and your goals and your hobbies? Right? What about that? Like, you don't even know who you are yet, and you have given your life in servitude to a man, to children. You don't even know who you are. Anyway, sorry, let me go back on my notes, make sure I'm not missing anything. But anyway, it's good to hear Tia acknowledge this, okay? She is complaining that her house is empty. Tia, baby girl, you need hobbies. You need hobbies. You need to go to the craft store. You need to figure out what you want to do, figure out what you like doing. Hang out with your friends, hang out with your homegirls. Group activities, friend activities, lean into your friendships. I'm telling you right now, your friendships are going to save your life. Quietly, the knights in shining armor are your friends. It's no shade. Oh, Catchy C says Queen Beyonce catered and still got cheated on multiple times. Also was publicly humiliated with that elevator fight. Catchy C, She dropped Lemonade. The whole beginning of the album, I was here for it because we're under the impression that she's leaving this nigga. I'm here for it. And then we get to the end of the album. She forgives him, right? Sometime later, he comes out with the 444 album chronicling the ways in which he has emotionally abused her. She turns around and has 2 more babies for him. The men are rewarded for bad behavior. The men are rewarded for mistreating you, for emotional abuse. Jay-Z said that he was the reason that she had 3 miscarriages, or however many miscarriages she had. I don't want to make up a number. I think it was 2 or 3. She had multiple miscarriages based off of his mistreatment. Hello? And then she went and turned around, had Blue, and then had 2 more kids after he cheated, after, she was getting ready to leave with Blue. Where's the self-respect? Where's the personal power? Every time I see Beyonce, I love Beyonce. I've been a big Beyonce fan since I was a little girl. I love Beyonce. Does she look dead in the eyes? Yeah. She looks like the lights are on, but no one's home. She looks so unhappy. Your personal power as a woman is everything. But y'all want to be sleeping with the enemy. Anyway, let me go back to my notes. See, y'all keep getting me hooked into these conversations. Y'all be hooking me in, child. Ayana says unconditional love is crazy because my love is very conditional. Exactly. Your love should be conditional. I'm going to love you on the conditions that you treat me well and treat me right. When Beyonce said Jay-Z taught her how to be a woman, I was like, how, Sway? I told my mother that. My mother said, well, where was her mother? Where was Tina? Traumatized her repeatedly. Exactly. She has all the resources to leave. Don't Hurt Yourself was one of the best songs on the album. She could have stopped it right there and let it be an EP and not let it drag out. Anyway, I digress. See, y'all be hooking me in these conversations. Let me get back to my notes, child. All right. What else do we have here? Yeah, so she's complaining that her house is so empty. And I'm like, I just need you to get some hobbies. That's all I need you to do. Once you lean into yourself and lean into what you really like, some shit that you really like for me, I'm a person where I'm always picking up a hobby. I make music. I write songs. I'm a singer, rapper. I crochet. I make jewelry. I will get lost in a project, honey. I will get lost in a project with the quickness. I have so many things that I could be doing. Like, there's not enough time in the day for me to do all of the things that I want to do. And I'm still adding more hobbies into the mix. Like, it's some shit that I'm plotting on right now that I'm like, okay, I need to save X amount of money so I can have the right equipment so that I can do what the hell that I want to do. Like, it's really important for me as a woman, as a spiritual being, to live out all of my dimensions, all of my whims, all of the things that I want to do. Hello? Like the video, guys. Thank you. Thank you for the 19 people who showed up for me today. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in with me. All right, 20 people. All right, let me get back into my notes, okay? I don't want to say that it's pathetic that she feels lonely. I just feel like she doesn't know how to be alone yet. And I will say this, when I first figured out, this was probably like my early 20s, that I really needed to be alone, that I needed to figure out how to be alone. I started hanging out with my friends. We would go to yoga together. I would go out to the city by myself. I would go to Soho. I would go to the village. I would go shopping. I would go to the movies. I would treat myself to dinner. I would go to bookstores. I would go all of these different places by myself. Like it was like a self exploration, like getting to know me, like dating me. You gotta legit date yourself in these streets. Like get dressed up, beat your face, put on some shoes, smell good, do your hair. Like you have to go through this process so you can find yourself. I don't think that there's enough emphasis on this for women. I don't. Apple Charm, thank you, baby. I appreciate you. There's always all this emphasis on what to do as a woman to please a man, how to diss a man, um how to keep your man satisfied. What scents do a man like? Bitch, what the fuck do you like? How do you like to smell? How do you like to look? Are you the main character in your life or not? I don't feel like we are raising our girls to be the main characters in their lives. I don't. Yes, Sonique says, listen, I go to art galleries in NYC by myself all the time, picked up yoga and Pilates too. I enjoy my company, babes. Yes, that's what we need to do. Are you loving on yourself? Are you figuring out who you are on your own downtime? Like, you need to figure out who you are, what you like, what you love. Go to an exhibit, go to a museum, go to a record. Like, for me, I love going to a record store and just like getting lost in like old records. Like, I used to collect records. I had like a really bad fire in 2013 and I lost my record collection and I haven't started really rebuilding it since then. But I'm like, I need to start doing that. Like, I would go to different cities. In every city I would go to, I would like go to a record store and collect records. So I want to start doing that again, you know? But I feel like women have to have their things. I feel like we need to teach our women, our girls, our youth to be self-involved and self-contained. Okay. We definitely need a casual chat live so we can get into all the things because I have so many thoughts. We do actually. I started this challenge with, well, I kind of briefly spoke to my best friend about it. She is with family this weekend, so we didn't super get to talk like all weekend, but I shot it to her and I'm gonna share it with you guys on here. But yeah, we do need to have like a girl chat. We need to have a girl chat. I'm gonna put y'all onto the villain challenge that I'm doing with a couple of my friends. Nola says women mainly need each other. When I tell you women have been the one to save my life and pick me up off the ground and help me to like get my shit together and walk again after like I had just been like out of there. Women, my girlfriends, has saved my life time and time again, scraped me off the ground. Do you understand what I'm saying? Women, every time, every time. So I'm gonna say that about that. Okay. Um, since I mentioned it, I'm gonna talk about the villain challenge really quick. Um, but I needed a shakeup in my perspective in terms of my art. And there's this girl on TikTok. There's this girl on TikTok. Her name is, I'm sorry, y'all. Vanessa Dom's Life. Vanessa Dom's Life. Um, I should be able to link it in the description afterwards, but she's basically like saying essentially get into villain mode. Like your villain is going to help you to evolve in your art form, right? She gives a really cool breakdown about like how the villain actually helps to sharpen the hero's evolution. And she's like, Maleficent will never be lazy. She would never procrastinate about anything. She's like, how do you morph into your villain? And she has some tenets here that she shared, that I'll share really quick before I get back into this review. She says a daily workout, 45 minutes. So it could be 30 minutes of walking, 15 minutes of stretching, whatever. Because the idea is that a villain is going to keep their vessel, their body in tip top shape. The other thing is 45 minutes of creative work, AKA plotting. Okay. No excuses. Journaling in the voice of your villain. Okay. Maintaining an impeccable creative space, daily meditation of 10 minutes, and finding a scenario where you can show up and embody your villain. So listen, I feel like all women artists need to find things to do to keep themselves busy, to keep themselves involved in their process, to keep themselves keep you infused in your own essence so that you're not always trying to give everything away all the time. Okay, let me jump back into my notes. We'll talk more about it. And then Ayana, I like your idea about us having like a casual girl chat. So we'll circle back to that. All right. Back to my notes. I lost my place. My bad, John. Um, all right. She is throughout this show introducing us to all of her friends, right? Now there's one in particular that is like her assistant, and she's like, oh, I keep her so grounded, and I have to be the one to tell her what's going on and keep her in reality. Like the assistant was a lot. The assistant was doing a lot. Okay. um I just feel like she is a person who likes to be in the center. She likes to be on TV, you know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know how I feel about the assistant yet. um Essence Atkins looks really good. Essence Atkins looks damn good. I don't know how old she is. I think she's got to be at least in her 50s because her co-star, the lady, what's her name? Rachel True, with the curly hair. I know she's in her 50s, so they've got to be around the same age. Essence Atkins looks amazing. Oh my God. Anyway, shout out to Essence Atkins. Um, Tia says that she got tired of showing up at events and everyone was thinking that everything was perfect. And I'm like, Tia, I promise you that nobody thought that. Because even from watching the show that you and Corey were on, I never thought that y'all were the perfect couple or anything close. Um, but also we learned whenever they bumped into each other at this red carpet event, I guess it kind of Tia was taken aback because she had been going to this event for many years and he never wanted to go. He had never showed up. So, yeah, that can be tough. That can be tough to stomach when niggas all of a sudden, they switch up and it's like, oh, you showing up to these types of events now? All right. Anyway, what else do I have here? We learned that Tia has never dated outside of Corey. Corey was her first everything. She says that she was not allowed to date until she was 18 and that she met Corey at 20 and she lost her virginity at 25. Can I just pull over really quick and say something about that, not being allowed to date until 18? Um, uh, I feel like when you shelter teenage girls to, from too much, you kind of set them up to be in a bad position. I feel like girls in high school should be able to date. I was able to date in high school. It wasn't any big conversation that my mom or anybody had with me. It was just like, I guess she knew I liked boys or whatever. At the time, I hadn't told anybody that I was into girls. Like I was still very much in the closet at that time. But I had a little boyfriend that she met. He came over to the house. I think I was like 14 at that time. Me and this boy, we never had sex. We only ever made out. We would go to the movies together. I knew his mom. I would go to his house. He lived in Lafayette Projects at the time. So yeah, like it wasn't really a big deal. We went to Six Flags together. Our parents knew each other. Um, it wasn't really a big deal. And then the next boyfriend that I had after that, I was 15. He would come over to my house. He knew my mom. I knew his mom. Me and his mom were actually really close. We still talk. And that was a boyfriend that I had like 20 years ago. I don't talk to his mom super often, but every once in a while she checks on me and stuff like that. And um, even many, many years after we broke up, she and I would like get together and like have dinner and stuff. And it wouldn't be weird. It wouldn't be nothing involving him. It's just that we genuinely just loved each other. And we wouldn't talk about him. We wouldn't talk about my ex or anything like that. It was really just we had our own relationship. I feel like a lot of people would feel like that's weird, but when you bang with a person, you just bang with a person. But what I was trying to say is that girls should be allowed to date at 14, 15, 16. It's like whatever. Like they have friendships, they're going to be interested in dating other people. And also, it's like the thing about me at that age when I was dating 14, 15, I wasn't having sex. And I was also very clear that I didn't want to have sex. I set this hard boundary that I wanted to have sex or I wanted to lose my virginity when I was 18. I knew that at that time, from the time that I started seriously dating in high school. Like I wanted to, and I had, my first couple of boyfriends that I thought I loved at that time. They were like my first little puppy loves, but like, did I tell them that I loved them? Yes, but I also was not ready for sex. And I knew that. So you can teach girls about their relationships with their bodies and teach consent. And also let's not act like teenagers are not having sex. You can teach safe sex, but a lot of the times like kids don't even want to get into all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like kids have minds of their own. Like I very much had a mind of my own. I remember I had friends in junior high school that were having sex and I was like, I'm not into that. I wasn't into that for real. Like I wanted to go to dance class. Like I like boys or whatever. And I had my crushes and I would like, hang out with the boys after school and like whatever like that. But I wasn't trying to have sex. Shit. Anyway, what else do I have here? Yeah, I just think that young girls shouldn't be sheltered from dating. And I feel like young boys are never sheltered from dating. Like boys in high school don't get that same type of energy. It's always the girls who are banned from dating. Oh, you can't have a boyfriend, you can't go on a date. It's like, no, my mom dropped me off to the mall. She knew where I was at. I had my cell phone. She dropped me to the movies. She had so and so's parents' number. What's Jay's mom's number? Hello? Like, anyway, what else do we have here? All right. So, Tia's assistant is putting together this gathering for Tia because she's kind of down in the dumps and she's really feeling how empty her life feels like, right now. Shout out to the 19 people in the room. Go ahead and hit the like button for me if you have not already. All right. Now, we also learned in this scene that Terrell is one of Tia's friends. He's that YouTube guy who brings on all of these different incredible, amazing singers. And, he gets them to talk a little bit about their history in the music industry, and they get to singing together and they do all these rips and runs. So I thought it was really cool seeing Terrell. Shout out to Terrell. Okay. Now, apparently Tia was taking a picture with her manager and people on the internet got to assuming that It was a new man that she was dating, and she was getting all bent out of shape about it. And it's like, girl, you are famous. People are going to assume all kinds of things about you that aren't true. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. She just takes everything like super duper personal. All right. Then in the next scene, the assistant brings in Taz. Now, Taz is a medium and a psychic healer. Now, we are vaguely familiar with Taz because she was just on the Braxtons. Is Taz the Wee TV resident medium or something like that? Because we just saw her on the Braxtons, and now all of a sudden she's popping up on this show on Tia Mowry's The Next Act. But okay. I'm not too keen on Taz. I'm not a fan of her reading style. I'm not a fan of her, but hey, whatever. If y'all like it, I love it. I just think that the scene was very weird because she is surrounded by her friends and this medium walks in, and then all of a sudden she just starts telling her business, starts going into this reading. It's like, did you even get consent to do this? Oh, I have your grandfather here. I have your grandmother here. Oh, I have this person who's an uncle, but he's really like a father figure. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, that seems like something you would pull somebody to the side for. I don't know, because, and I've explained this before, but I got a reading from a medium. Her name is Satara. I'm going to leave her name in the chat. It's I am Satara. You want a reading from a Black practitioner, a real medium, you can definitely hit her. But it was the most incredible experience of my life. It was a life-changing event, right? And the way in which my ancestors showed up for me in that moment, I can tell you right now, it's a very private, it's a very enclosed, but I mean, okay, there are also things called misas, right? A misa is a Spanish word for mass. So you can, go to a misa if you don't have the money to go to a reading, right? If you can't afford an individual divination, you can go to a misa. And there will be mediums there who will, you can go in, pay whatever they pay, they ask you to pay, and then they will tell you, oh, this person has showed up for you. They're saying blah, 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 right? It's a kind of closed practice. It's a closed space. The way this medium was going off on, oh, this person is here, that person is here. It's like all my friends are sitting here. It just seemed off. Y'all get what I'm saying? I just, something about it didn't sit right with me. The experience that I had with Satara, with the medium that I had, it rocked me emotionally, and I'm glad that I was able to experience it alone, experience it and process it on my own. I needed to process the information that she was saying to me by myself. Okay. Oh, I didn't put I am Satara on the screen. My bad. You can find her on Instagram. You can find her on Twitter. She has a YouTube channel as well. So definitely check out Satara. So yeah, I wasn't too much a fan of that. And then in another scene, the medium wants them to do this kind of release ceremony where they write down something that they want to release on a piece of paper. Now, I am familiar with this type of energy work. I've actually been doing this since high school, before I even knew what energy work was. I was going through a breakup, and I took all of the letters and the pictures that I had with, my ex-boyfriend, and I put them, in a box, and I burned them. So yeah, that was that. But anyway, it's the same idea. Something that you want to release, you can go ahead and write it down on a piece of paper and burn it and release it. And then, we have the assistant running to grab Tia's wedding dress. And she's like, oh, well, you can release this. And it's like, girl, sit down. Sit down. Relax. Relax. You're doing a little bit too much. A little too much for my taste. But I enjoyed the episode overall. I'm looking forward to, what's to come down the pipeline with this show. And You know, I'm gonna do my best to have as much grace for Tia as possible because again, this is her first and only relationship that she's ever had. You know what I'm saying? But here's the other thing too. You've been with this man for 20 years. It took you 20 years to get sick of his shit. I need us to get out of these relationships faster. I've been on this I've been on this wave lately in the past couple of years. I don't know if y'all remember this app called Clubhouse, but there was this app called Clubhouse where you could go into this app and you could join a room. It was like basically a room where you could just speak. It was like a meeting. It was like a Teams meeting, but you couldn't see anybody's faces. It wasn't like video. It was audio only, right? And this happened. We saw Clubhouse at like the top of the Panda Express, right? YouTube doesn't like you to say the P word. So I'm trying to be careful about that. So at the top of the Panda Express, you know, people were looking for all of these different ways to connect or whatever like that. Clubhouse was one of them. And there is this spiritualist that I follow. Her name is Janelle, aka Pasa Flornata on Twitter. But in any case, she is so fab and just really spiritually astute. And she was teaching a goddess class along with another young lady on Twitter. Her name is The Fine Feminine. And they were teaching this class about like all of the different goddess archetypes. And they were talking about Aphrodite specifically. Like Aphrodite stuck out to me because the rule of thumb for Aphrodite is like she's all about her art, she's all about pleasure and sensuality, right? And the thing is like Aphrodite will come into your life and she'll change your life and she'll make it better and she'll make it beautiful and all of these things, right? But the one thing that she does not tolerate is displeasure. The moment that it's not fun or sexy or pleasurable for Aphrodite anymore, she leaves. And that is something after that class that I have learned to adapt in my own life, right? So started dumping niggas faster than ever, right? Started leaving situations faster than ever. Started not giving the benefit of the doubt to certain individuals, being like, you know what? This doesn't bring me pleasure. I'm good on this, you know? So I adopted that type of Aphrodite attitude, and I feel like a lot more women need to do that. If it doesn't bring you pleasure, it needs to go. You need to be so vigilant in 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 knowing that you can be the one to restore your own joy, to restore your own happiness. When you look for a relationship or for a man to be the sole carrier of your joy, the man can walk out the door and then your joy goes along with him. So that's what I wanted to say about this, y'all. I did not mean to be up in here for an hour, but I thank y'all so much for rocking with me. I feel like with these shows that are like relationship based, relationship heavy, it's easy to kind of go off on these little side tangents because we all have our personal experiences with love and romance, and we're all just trying to figure it out, child. But I pray that Tia can get to a place, into a space where she really enjoys herself and her solitude, because when you get there, it is a really sweet space to be in. And it makes you feel like there's this line from a poet. I don't know who the poet is, but it's like, I will only have you if you were sweeter than my solitude. Okay. Now, if women were raised to had this type of mentality, I feel like we wouldn't have half of the problems that we have. But we're getting there. We're getting there. In any case, I wanted to thank y'all for rocking with me. Shout out to the 17 people in the room. Hit the like button for me on the way out. What do we have coming down the pipeline? We got Potomac. It's starting tonight, so I will see y'all tomorrow for my Potomac review. I'm gonna, do a pre-recorded joint. And yeah, I've got this Tia show. We've got Potomac. We've got New York. We've got Salt Lake City. So we got a lot going on right now. But I told myself, you wanted to get in this space. You wanted to get in this arena. You need to do more shows. You can't just do 1 or 2 shows and think that that's enough. You want to stomp with the big dogs. You gotta really get in there. So this is my effort, my attempt to really just, add more shows, beef up my pocketbook a little bit, and put myself out there more. Catchy C says it is important to enjoy your own company. Exactly. Figure out a way to love your company. Mrs. Howe says, I'll definitely be back to watch your Potomac review. I appreciate you so much, Mrs. House, and I look forward to seeing you. I hope you get down in the comments with us. We have a lot of fun in the comments. We have a key in the comment section. Y'all already know how it goes down. But in any case, I love y'all so much. I hope that y'all have a great start to your week. I hope that y'all had a great weekend and that y'all get some rest tonight. Get some rest, get some sleep, y'all. Something that I learned recently, women with the hormonal cycles that we go through, in reality, we should be getting 9 to 10 hours of sleep every night. I thought 8 was enough. I might need 9 or 10. So get enough sleep, ladies. I love y'all so much. What else? Do I have any other church announcements? I think that's it. So I'll see y'all for the next one. See y'all tomorrow. Peace, y'all.